All right, here we are. Here we are. I'm just going to make up a random problem. We'll use Luke's initials for our triangle. And let's say this is 58, and this is 73, and this is 10. And your job will be exactly this on the quiz. Solve the triangle, round to the nearest hundredth. Okay? What does solve the triangle mean? Find everything that we are missing. So we are missing angle M, we are missing side L, and we are missing side S. So our job is to do what we do. You've already figured out what M is. What is it?
48 degrees.
48. And how did you? I don't think that's right. How do we figure out how big angle M is? Right. So what would that be? 49?
Oh, I was one off.
Yes, but mean one off is off. So we don't want to be off, all right? So 49. Angle M is 49. Everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, how do we go about finding the sides? Well, I gave you a huge hint. I said we're going to use the law of sines. And we know it's going to be a law of sines problem because you have this, right? Whenever you have that, it's a law of sines. So that's what we start with. Sine 49 over 10. It's the sine of the angle over the side. So sine over side equals what, Ted? Sine 58 over L. Now, Ted chose to do sine 58 over L. Could he have done sine 73 over S? Yeah, he's going to have to do them both. The order that you do them doesn't matter. They both have to be done. All right, so once you get your law of sines set up, the pair we've got, sine 49 over 10, and then sine 58 over L. Then we cross multiply. And we divide. So L equals 10 sine 58 over sine 48. And we go to our calculators. Make sure you're in degrees, which I'm sure you are if you're using your own calculator. But if you have to rent one of mine, you want to make sure it's in degrees. What?
It's 49.
Oh, I was thinking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the one up there too.
I did it all the way through. Thank you. So let me retype it. 10 sine 58 divided by sine 49. I got 11.24.
Right.
Is that okay with everyone? All right, and then I'm going to start over again. Sine 49 over 10 equals, this time I'll have to go with sine 73 over S. And I'll cross multiply and divide again. And hopefully I'll get the right answer this time. I got 12.67. Anybody confirm that?
Yep.
That is the law of sines. That is what I'm going to expect you to do here in a few minutes. Does anybody have an issue with that? Don't understand where something came from? Everybody's fine. All right, so that's the law of sines. First question. Yes.
Is that the thing we already had a quiz about?
Yes.
So that's on this quiz too?
Yes. This is you're going to solve two triangles. One of them is going to be just like this, and you're going to do the law of sines, rounding to the nearest hundredth. The other one, I'm going to erase this now. All right, Geechee, what's your middle name?
Dante.
All right, so these are your initials for this triangle. And we're going to have 32, 19, and 12. Now we're going to solve this triangle, which, like before, means find everything you don't know. So I don't know angle D, I don't know angle B, and I don't know side G. This is not going to be a law of sines problem. At least not in the first step. You might recall from yesterday that we may end up using the law of sines later on down the road, but not first. Because what do I not have? I don't have a set. I need this and this, or this and this, or this and this, and I don't have it. So I'm going to do the law of cosines. And we remember that the law of cosines is a big long equation. But on this side is just one thing. It's going to be g squared. And why is it going to be g squared? Because in the law of cosines, at the very end is a cosine. And the angle I know is g, so it's going to be cosine g. And whatever angle is out there on the end is the thing that's here all by itself. These match. And then you got all the other stuff in the middle, but these match. All right, Luke, you paying attention? Okay. Now, what is that stuff that goes in the middle?
12 squared.
12 squared
Plus 19.
plus 19 squared
12.
minus 2. That part is the formula. You got to remember that. That happens in every problem. So it's one of the sides squared, the other side squared, and then minus 2 times what? 12 and 19. Whatever you put here goes here again, but just not squared.
So it's always minus 2?
Always. And then times, minus 2 times, whatever these two sides were, but not squared, just plain. All right, so then we can type that in, and we just type it. I just graded some papers, and kids were missing this because they were, I don't know what, they were doing weird stuff. Just type it in. Now, there is one thing you have to remember when you get it all typed in. I got 118. I don't know, did anybody else get that?
Yeah.
Okay, now be careful. That 119 is actually g squared. So we need to square root that number. And I got 10.88. So side g is 10.88. Now, would you agree with me on that? Anybody else get 10.88? Okay. Now take a look at it. We're not done.
Now you can do sine, law of sine.
Now we can go back to the law of sines, because now that we got side G, look what we have. Right? So now we can say sine 32 over 10.88 equals sine D over 12, for example. Could I have done side B over 19?
Yeah.
Makes no difference. Pick one and do it, just like before. So, cross multiply, 10.88 sine D equals 12 sine 32. Now you're going to divide, and when you divide, remember you're dividing by the number. Sine D does not get split up. It's sine D equals 12 sine 32 over 10.88. this is a little tricky too, because obviously you can type that in, that's easy. But you get a decimal. The decimal is not angle D. How do we get the actual angle measured? We have to take that decimal and second sign it. So the decimal that you get here, which is 0.5844, blah, 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 you have to second sign that, because that's how we get an angle. And D comes out to be 35.77. Once I figured out, by second signing, that D is 35.77, can I find angle B? Real easily, right? Yeah, you could go through and do this again, but don't. Once you have two angles, just add them together and subtract from 180. So that one is 112.23. Okay, so what numbers don't make sense there? I'm gonna have you set up one more law of cosines, Finn.
Can you go to what we did, or after you did, you go to get 1028, like after you did, the problem up there, like, did you square root the answer?
After you type all that in, you have to square root, because that's G squared. So you have to square root it, and that's how I got the 10.88. And then I set up my law of sines, got a decimal here, and then second signs that to get the angles. That's how we get angles. Maddie?
If you're, for the law of sines, if you're trying to find a side, do you not second sign it?
No, you only second sign if you are looking for an angle, okay? We never use the special button, the second sign, second whatever, unless our job is to fill in that blank right there, or that, an angle blank. Okay, did you hear Maddie's question? Pay attention. We don't always second sign or second cosine. We only second sign or second cosine if we are looking for an angle. If you're looking for an angle, then you must second sign or second cosine. If you're looking for a side, you just type it in and boom, there it is. All right, now, since the law of cosines is newer, I wanna set one more up, make sure everybody can set up the law of cosines. So, Ethan, what's your middle name? All right, so here's your triangle, and let's say this is 50, and this is 75, and this is 82. Now, we're not going to actually solve this. I just want you to set it up for me. The first step, all right, here's your quiz question. You're going to jump in and either do the law of sines or the law of cosines.
This is gonna be law of sines.
All right, so what do you think?
Cosines, two sides, and
That's going to be a cosine. Why is it a cosine? Because we do not have a match set. Boys and girls, it doesn't have anything to do with whether you're finding an angle or a side. That's irrelevant. In order to use the law of sines, you have to have both of these, or both of these, or both of these. Do I have both of anything? No. That means it's cosines. That's how you tell. It's cosines. So, my law of cosines has one thing here and a whole bunch of stuff over here. And whatever I put here and at the end have to be the same letter. And this is going to be a cosine, right?
Yeah.
So what angle do I have? 75, and that's side E. So this is going to be 75, and this is going to be E squared. Now, what's the rest of it in here? 50 squared plus 8 82 squared minus 2 times 50 times 82. And then what do you have to remember when you type all that in? That's the easy one to type in. You just boom, 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 boom. But then you have to remember to take the
Second sign.
no, not here. We got a square root.
Easy.
We got a square root it. When do we second sign it? When we're looking for an angle, and I'm not here, so I'm not going to be doing second anything except square root. Are we ready? All right, here's what I want you to do. I want you to have a piece of paper, a notebook paper, a sheet of notebook paper.
Wait.
Type it in just like this. And then you have to take the square root of it. When you get that all typed in, you'll get this number.
Because
that'll be a lot of signs though. Because it says sin 75 over e, because now you'll know that number. So there'll be a lot of signs, but yes, you have the second sign. Now I need a full sheet of paper because you're going to get 2 problems. All right, so Luke, get our piece of paper, honey. Here we go. We're going to take a quiz. Are you up there?
Me? No, I'm not.
All right, everybody got a piece of paper out? Okay, we're going to do this one. You don't have to move or anything. I'm going to put 3 of them up there on the board. We don't need to video this.